With the Azzurri playing today, we got a bit of a quicker news day for you, but doesn't mean they're not as important. Let's go. Ciao, Bianconeri, and welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Tuesday, June 16th, 2021. Please go ahead and like and smash that subscribe button. Like I said yesterday, just like Zinedine Zidane did in European play in 2006. Let's go ahead and jump into this news. It's going to be quick and fast. Similar to yesterday, but basically we're just trying to get you in and out before we have all the excitement that comes with the game today. So, the big news of the day, the biggest news of the day, the most important news I feel like to most fans right now, because we're all paying attention to the transfer market when it comes to the midfield and who we want most, which seems to be, right now it seems Juventus is all in for Locatelli. So, Tuttosport is reporting that there could be a meeting tomorrow between Juventus and Sassuolo for Locatelli. Juve reached an agreement last summer with Sassuolo for 35 million euros, but not on the payment structure. Now they want 40 million euros because he had a really pretty good season and only got better. So what has changed? Well, Manuel wants Juventus and only Juventus. Juve agrees on the player's valuation of 40 million euros. It'll be necessary to understand how to pay this during these times, especially with COVID. A lot of places still struggling, even Juventus with lack of income, especially without players coming in the stands during games. You'd be shocked at how much revenue you lose out with that. But Allegri is confident he wants a regista, and barring surprises, he will have him after the Euros. So it appears they're still going to be waiting for Locatelli until after the Euros, but it's reassuring to know that he is the guy. Romeo Agresti is also saying that the hot target in midfield remains Locatelli. Not official yet, but the Bianconeri are starting to evaluate players to propose to Sassuolo. Reasoning in progress on Dragusin and Frabotta. To me, these are the top two players that you could sacrifice for this. Just because, to me, I'd rather sacrifice either of those two rather than I'd rather sacrifice them than Fagioli. I still feel like Fagioli could turn into something for Juventus going forward. Rovella, I don't know too much about Rovella, or at least how he'll fit in with Juventus. But I feel like I'd rather give him a chance before trading him out somewhere. So we'll see where it goes. The next news that we really have of the day is kind of more of a dream that we have than anything, but it's important to report it, especially if a larger entity is commenting on it. Calcio Mercato is saying that Ronaldo Pogba, they're talking about the Ronaldo Pogba swap option idea. My personal dream, please make it happen. Pogba can leave United 1 year before his contract expires, and Raiola is talking to Leonardo, unfortunately, who dreams of bringing him to Paris. I mean, just who can't they bring to Paris? To me, it's like, I don't know. I'm just, before I go off on something, just PSG, you know my thoughts on them. Juve is not giving up, and Ronaldo could be the key in all of this. I'm really hoping that Ronaldo, one of the best players of all time, if we can somehow pull the heartstrings of United, wanting to bring him back, as well as, working out a deal with Pogba. I feel like I'm repetitive at this point, but make it happen. Like, those are the two. If we get Locatelli and Pogba, especially after yesterday, I was making jokes about that. But if we could actually make that happen, that would be a dream midfield to me. And then Tuttosport's also talking about the Fiorentina connection for Juventus. Vlahovic and Milinkovic remain in the sights of Juventus and Tottenham. However, Camiso will be difficult to convince. So yeah, both of these players, as we know, he doesn't want to sell Vlahovic. Milinkovic we'll see what happens with that. But to me, now we're starting to get an idea of the top players that are targets for Juventus in this transfer market. I mean, we knew Locatelli. Pogba is always a dream, but especially like these Vlahovic, Milinkovic, that idea is starting to become more and more concrete going forward. I like the idea of bringing both of those players in if they're able to do it. I think they could be solid, especially if you have to have a replacement for Di Maria. And then going on, Giovanni Albanese is reporting about the goalkeeper situation with Juventus. He's saying that Juve remains vigilant on the market, but will not force their hand to find a second goalkeeper. At the moment, they can count on Parin, who will leave only in case of an adequate offer. A glimmer of hope has reopened for the renewal of Pinsolio. So that's actually kind of surprising to me because everything I've heard basically seems that like Pellegrini is just like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not coming back. Not going to make it happen when it comes to being a backup goalkeeper. I mean, I'm guessing there's something contractually where Juventus could force him to, if necessary. I mean, he is under contract with Juventus, but as it stands, that's the biggest. I mean, that's the most forward news I've heard about him potentially returning to Juventus lately. And then it's always good to hear about Pinsolio. Of course, he's the third keeper spot, so it's really that second goalkeeper that we want to keep an eye on. And then moving on, Giovanni Albanese has one more report, basically a little update on Ramsey, basically saying that Ramsey's time at Juventus is over. West Ham and Crystal Palace have made some inquiries. His €7 million wage remains the biggest obstacle to him for these teams. Depending on the offers, a loan deal could be an option. So it's nice to hear some names getting thrown out there about potential landing locations. Understandable that, yeah, his wages are an issue. I mean, they've been an issue for Juventus, signing up all these players for high wages, and then we get stuck with them. So, I mean, whatever it takes to get him, hopefully he'll be willing to, hopefully he'll actually have that desire and drive to play. Maybe he could lower his wages. We'll see what happens there. But hopefully we can offload him as soon as possible. Well, that's all the news I really have for you today. Make sure to check in tomorrow for all things regarding Juventus news and updates, as well as please go ahead and do that again if you could. Like and subscribe to the video, and then hit that bell notification to stay up to date so you get drops of all things Juventus as soon as it drops. You get it as soon as possible because the news right now comes in and out so quickly that it's old news before you know it. Follow bianconerizone at bianconerizone on Twitter and Instagram, and follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Forza Bianconeri, Forza Juve, Forza Azzurri.